Communication error. That is the subject for today. Did bad communication kill your relationship? And in my experience, the chances are it's 99.9% certain it was a communication problem. Welcome back to the Love Fix, guys. As always, it's Nick trying to tell you the truth so you can get through your breakup as easily as possible. If today's video isn't enough for you, you can reach out to me at thelovefix20@gmail.com to arrange a one-to-one voice coaching session, and I would be hugely appreciative if you'd hit like, subscribe, and share this content. It would really help the channel out and get this message out to everybody that needs it. Without further ado, I'm saucy today. So, communication. Bad communication is worse than no communication. And I tell everybody that when we are in relationships, and this is with relationships with our parents, with our friends, with our partners, anybody, work colleagues, you name it, brutal, honest communication is key. Because what we do, guys, we get into this really nasty habit of expecting people to know how we feel and to mind read what we want and what we need. And this will go down a very bad path very, very quickly. So what we need to establish here is, what are your needs and how are you going to communicate them? Because, guys, I don't know what your needs are. And I tell my friends this, and I tell my family this, and I tell any potential future partner this, or past partners, I will tell them this. Hey, I do not know what you need and what you want. You need to tell me. But we do this passive aggressive thing where we say, oh, they should just know. They know me well enough by now. And guys, please stop. It's absolute bullshit. Okay? You are responsible for getting your needs met. So that means you need to communicate, one, how you feel, and two, what you need from your partner. And if you're not communicating this in the correct way, if you're becoming defensive every time that you have an argument, or you start shouting and screaming because you can't express how you feel, then that's something you need to work on with counseling, therapy, whatever you want to call it. And you need to work on that key skill, because a lot of the time breakups are caused by bad communication. And people listen to respond, they don't listen to understand. And this is a big part of the problem. Listening is part of communication. Sometimes you just need to shut up and listen. You just need to be quiet, and you just need to let your partner have their 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, whatever, and simply say, I hear you. Regardless if you agree or disagree with what they're saying, I hear you. 3 simple words that can solve many, many problems. So, how do we communicate what we need with our partners? How do we make sure communication is running and flowing in a way that keeps the relationship healthy? And I can only use me as an example, and this is something I've learned over many, many years of making many, many, many mistakes. And if I'm feeling down, insecure, anxious for whatever reason, and guys, that does happen to me. I've suffered with anxiety my entire life, and I work very hard to soothe it and to deal with it and to make sure I channel it in a positive way. So this is how I would handle it with my partner. I'm single right now, but I would handle this differently with a future partner. Hey, I'm feeling down right now. I'm feeling anxious. I'm feeling insecure. And I just need you to listen right now. I just need to tell you how I feel. And I need to tell you what I need from you. And I will do my best to fix these problems. It's my problem. I will work on it. But sometimes I just need a hug. Sometimes I just need you to tell me that I love you, that you love me. Sometimes I just need you to listen. Sometimes I need your advice. And it can be that simple, guys. Because before, what I would used to do, I would sit there with a face like a smacked ass not saying anything, not communicating, and waiting for that person to say, is everything okay? Are you okay? Because this is very much a passive-aggressive way of getting attention. And that's not attractive. In fact, it creates rifts because then your partner is walking on eggshells. They don't know whether to engage with you or whether to leave you alone. So it's a perfect opportunity to say, hey, I need to talk. Hey, please leave me alone. And when you are going through tough times, which you will in relationships, it's very important to be brutally honest with your communication. Don't beat around the bush. Don't expect your partner to mind read. Don't expect your friends and family to mind read. And this is something I've worked on over the last almost 2 years now. And I get a lot more of what I need from people if I just tell them. And I tell my friends, hey, I'm not in a good place right now. I need you to come over. I need to come and see you. I need to talk. I hold my family accountable for stuff they do that I do not like and I find intolerable now. And it's leading to a better dynamic in that relationship because they know where the boundaries are. And that's a key word here. Setting your boundaries and making sure they're enforced. But guys, do not sit there expecting your partner just to know how you feel and for them to fix it for you, because it will never work. If you expect your partner to fix everything for you, you are doomed to fail again. You are responsible for how you feel. You are responsible for fixing your shit. And you are responsible for communicating what the hell is going on in your life right now. So I strongly encourage you to do your best to avoid this going forward and work on your communication skills and just be brutally honest. If they are doing something that you do not like, say, hey, that word you said the other day, I didn't appreciate that, and I would appreciate it if you didn't say it again. When you laughed at me the other day, I was in a really bad place and it hurt. So please don't do that again. You keep leaving the toilet seat up when you stay over. Please don't do that. When I try to tell you something, you make the conversation about you and you're not listening. And I really do not like that. In fact, guys, that's a personal pet hate of mine, where if I'm listening to someone for hours on end and then they ask me a question, it's my turn to talk. But they only ask that question so they can talk about that subject. There is nothing more that will turn me off quicker on that person. So know your boundaries, know your red flags, know your non-negotiables, especially when it comes to communication. And the only way to know that is to communicate your damn needs. You have to communicate your damn needs. Stop with the passive aggressiveness. It's not sexy. It's not attractive. And it will lead to a breakup. So, when you are communicating, do it calmly. Do it clearly. Listen to understand. And ask your partner to listen to understand. And repeat back to people when they're communicating with you, you feel X because of Y. This shows that you're listening. This shows understanding. And this shows that you are giving them the attention that they need. So be sure to be mindful, be aware. And try to remember that silence is a killer. Especially in relationships. If you go quiet for too long, you brush it under the carpet, guess what will happen? It will fester. Molehills turn into mountains, and the problem just becomes 10 times bigger than it needs to be. So guys, communicate honestly, brutally. Sometimes you have to be cruel to be kind. Sometimes you have to deliver bad news. Sometimes you have to say things that may lead to a breakup. Because if you're not happy with something, if your partner is violating a boundary constantly and they will not respect you enough to stop doing that, then maybe it's time to walk away. So maybe the reason we don't communicate correctly, properly, brutally, is because we're scared to, because the repercussions of establishing that line, establishing that boundary could mean the end. But would you want to be with someone that does not respect your boundaries? Because if they don't respect your boundaries, then they do not respect you, and the relationship isn't worth a damn. So think about that. Think about, how can I communicate better in the future? How can I just tell people, hey, I just need you to listen. Hey, I need your advice. Hey, please leave me the fuck alone. I'll call you later. Guys, it's important. And if you want a better relationship in the future, if you want to avoid the same mistakes that caused your current breakup, then you need to be different. You need to try different things. And you need to think differently. You need to be aware of yourself and how you feel, and be responsible for that. Take ownership of that, of how you feel. And if you can do that, you'll be invincible. Nothing or no one will take you off your center or off your journey, because you communicated your needs, you communicated your expectations, your boundaries, and believe me, guys, you will get more of what you want out of life when you do that. That's all for today. I hope this has been helpful. Take care. Have a great weekend. I'll see you on the other side.